besties, my name is Maddie and welcome back to my channel. So today let's talk about my lifeline, the thing I could not live without, my one true love, my Kindle. Okay, I love this thing with my entire heart and soul, and I thought it'd be fun to do a little quick overview of what's actually in my Kindle. So I have the Kindle Paperwhite, and I believe this is the 32 gigabyte. It's plenty enough storage. I think you could get past with the 16. I have not had a problem with it so far, and I do all like the stuff your Kindle days, and I just get a bunch of books for whatever reason. Do I end up reading them? No, not usually, but they're fun to have. And then I just have a clear little case, and then I just have my stickers on it, and then my little pop sockets. Very much spring feelings. So all the books I will be talking about are obviously on Kindle Unlimited. I want to say I've had Kindle Unlimited for probably the last like 3 to 4 years. I honestly love it. I think it saved me so much money, even though I do sometimes like read them on Kindle Unlimited and then go buy them, but that's besides the point. Okay, that's not smart on me. Okay, Kindle Unlimited does save you money if you use it smart. So all of these books will be on Kindle Unlimited that I talk about that are on here. I feel like once I read a book, I will just return the book I just read, and then all the rest, like if I get down to like, if I hit the button and I go down a page, any of these books, I don't remember even what they are. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of go through the books that I've picked up throughout points. Some of these could have been from like months ago that I just still haven't read, but they're just on my Kindle still. So I recently just downloaded this one. So I have The Dixon Rule by Elle Kennedy. This is the second in her second gen series, I guess you could say. And I think this follows a cheerleader and another sports player. Not quite sure what sport he plays, and I believe they're going to be roommates. I think you meet her, our FMC, in the one with Gigi. Do I have that one? No, I don't think I do. I don't know what is the first one called? Dixon Rule. Oh, the Graham Effect. Stupid. No, I'm not. I'm a smart, brilliant young lady. Words of affirmation. So the first book in the series is The Graham Effect, and I think you meet our FMC in that book, who is now in The Dixon Rule. And I love Elle Kennedy's writing. I think her books are super easy to get into. I think they're super fun. And they're just little light-hearted, usually hockey romance books. I don't know if this is the same type, but I'm really looking forward to that one. And then I had The Throne duet by Rena Ken, so I have Throne of Power and Throne of Vengeance. I just finished Throne of Power last night. I just haven't undownloaded it yet from my Kindle. 4 stars. Had such a great time with them. I love these two characters so much. I cannot wait to start Throne of Vengeance, I believe. And I also think I have this one on audio as well, which I'm super excited for. I have really enjoyed all of the audiobooks from Rena Ken's universe so far that I've listened to. So it follows Kai and Rai. I don't know what her name is. Okay, it's like R-A-I. And she is one powerful woman in like the, I don't know what they're in, crime organization, okay? And Kyle is now going to be her like arranged husband. So basically it's an arranged marriage, but they're both playing each other without letting the other person know. And it ends on a cliffhanger, let me tell you, so I cannot wait to jump right into Throne of Vengeance. Okay, and then the next book I have on my Kindle is Shattered Obsessions by Tina Spencer. It just is a dark hockey romance. I believe I seen this on another booktuber's monthly wrap-up, and she said it was really good, so I downloaded it immediately. Will I pick it up? Not sure, but that's on there. I don't even know what it's about. Let's see. Nothing is better than when you have a like 3-page list of content warnings. So check your trigger warnings before reading this one if you do, because apparently it gets a little dicey. Oh, it's brother's best friend and it's fake dating. I'm going to love this. This is obviously why I marked it on my Kindle, because this sounds right up my alley. Okay, next up on the docket, we have Crossroads by Daphne Perry. This is also, if you have Kindle Unlimited, you can also listen to it. Got the little like audible narration with it. So this is, I believe, the first in one of her new series. I have never read a Daphne Perry book ever, but I hear so many people talking about them, and I think I just need to bite the bullet and do it, but I just have not wanted to get into those books yet, because I think there's quite a bit, so I feel like I just keep pushing them off. But I did see that it's on Audible, so I was like, maybe I can half read, half listen to it, and that might make it a little bit easier for me. We'll see if I ever get to it, but it is a promising one on there. Oh, besties. Okay, so then I have Always Been You by QB Tyler. Okay, let's talk about this one. So I started this one, I want to say about 2 months ago. I put it on TBR, and I was like, I'm gonna sit down and I'm just gonna read it. It's a shorter book, honestly. And I got about halfway through, and I just have not picked it up since. Not that the writing's bad, like it's interesting. It's very insta-love, which I knew going into it. I have like her special edition covers of it, so I wanted to read it to see like if I really would enjoy it that much. And I did have such a good time when I was reading it, but I just feel like I got really bored. It's not my cup of tea that I'm wanting right now. It's an adoptive sibling romance, okay? Which I love. I love the tension in like step sibling, adopted sibling, anything like that. I usually love. The only thing that is freaking me out a little bit is the age gap in this one. So they adopted her. She was young, okay? And then the boy at the time, who's now our MMC, was like in his teens. And she just recently turned 18, and now they're going to like have their little relationship, and that's what their book's about. And something about that just always doesn't, it's not always my favorite, which kind of makes me a little sad. But I want to finish it. Because, like, there's truly nothing wrong with, like, the writing's entertaining, the storyline's entertaining. It's just that premise I can't get around. If I go into a book knowing I'm not, like, fully invested, I know I'm not going to like it that much, I feel bad rating it lower knowing it's already not my cup of tea, you know? Pet peeve, when you read a book that you know you're not going to like just to rate it lower, I don't like that. That's the feeling I get right now. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. But I want to finish it, and I might just not rate it or it might turn around for me, you know, so I want to get back into it. Okay, next up, I do have a lot of Rena Kent books on here because her entire universe is on Kindle Unlimited. So I have the Deceptions trilogy by Rena Kent, obviously, which is Vow of Deception, Tempted by Deception, and then Consumed by Deception. I am so excited for these guys because you meet our MMC and our FMC in the Throne duet. You meet, oh, and he is so, I cannot wait to read about him. And I think I'm really going to like their kids, if I remember correctly. Their two kids are in God of Pain and God of Wrath, which I'm really looking forward to those because I've heard those two books are really good. So this follows our two main characters, and I believe they're in an arranged marriage or something like that. Like in the book I'm reading right now, in the Throne duet, they're married. So I don't really know what's going on, but it's like weird because Ray is saying that like he hides his wife away and she's not allowed to be like out in the public or out and be seen and stuff like that. So I'm real curious on what their dynamic is and how they have 3 books. I'm real curious on what's going to happen there. So I have those 3 books, the Deceptions trilogy, that I'm super looking forward to. Okay, now here we go. This is where we hit the little button and we go down, and now these books, not quite sure. Again, Rena Kent, okay? I have the entire Empire series. I have Empire of Desire, Empire of Sin, Empire of Hate, and Empire of Lust. These 4 follow kind of like side characters from the other books. So I've actually already read Empire of Desire. I just have not taken it off of my Kindle yet. Loved it. It is Dad's best friend and arranged marriage. And I think I had such a good time because our FMC just reminded me of one of my best friends, and I was like, even though they aren't really the same at all, I just think I liked it so much just because I put her personality on this girl, and I had a great time. Empire of Sin is boss employee romance, I believe, and this follows Knox, which you meet in another series. Okay, look, listen. You know what I'm talking about, where he's like holding all the little things up and they're all connected, and that's what my head feels like when I try to explain Rena Kent's universes, because it's like you got 2 characters over here who also connect to these 2 characters, and these 2 characters also have 3 over here that connect. That's what it feels like. So if I don't explain these so well, just look up the diagram. Okay, because this in here, messy. So this is where we meet Knox, okay? And Knox, obviously, from a different book. And I liked him a lot, so I'm really, really looking forward to this book. That's all I got for you. Boss Employee, that's your jam. Check it out. And I think all these can be read as standalones. I don't think you need to read any other book in this series. It's just more beneficial if you do. Not sure if all these are Boss Employee, but Empire of Hate is also Boss Employee. And this is where we have Daniel. I loved him. You meet him in, I believe, the Royal Elite series. This seems like a little bit enemies to lovers, childhood enemies to lovers, high school enemies to lovers, because it says in here that they went to high school together and they hated each other, or that she made his life hell. Very, very interesting to see who that is. I truly have not a clue who the FMC could be in this book. They must all be, because this one is now saying my boss, my hell. Search for trigger warnings for this one, because I think this one gets a little dicey. So Empire of Lust, we meet our MMC in the first book, so his name is Kingsley. And then I don't know who the FMC in this book is, but it is kind of single parent, single dad-ish, because Kingsley has a little girl who he's raised her entire life by himself. He thought that this child was just left on his doorstep and the mom wants nothing to do with her. Come to find out, our FMC is the mom, and believed that her daughter passed away. She's just had to mourn the loss of her daughter for the past 18 or so years. I believe this one's going to be my favorite because I think I'm going to love the tension. I'm going to love the angst. I think there's going to be a lot of heartbreak in this, and I'm excited. I'm excited for some pain. So those are the 4 Empire series that I have on my Kindle. Following along with Rena Kent, okay, then I have the Monsters trilogy, which I heard is supposed to be super, super good. So I'm only going to be talking about the first one because I don't know if the rest are spoilers, because I believe they follow the same couple. So we have Blood of My Monster, Lies of My Monster, and Heart of My Monster. Okay, I think this follows Kirill. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Okay, if I'm not, so sorry. This is a dark mafia romance. I believe, search up your trigger warnings before reading this. It seems kind of enemies to lovers. It seems a little bit like they're not so kind to each other. This is giving Mulan, because I believe our FMC goes into like the military and pretends to be a man, I believe. But it sounds interesting enough, and everyone talks so highly of this series, so I really want to get into it. So the next 4 are just random books. So I have The Idea of You by Robin Lee. I put this on my Kindle just because I saw it was a movie, and I've seen a lot of TikTok stuff about it, and I guess he's like a famous actor, painter, singer, not sure what he is. He's famous somehow, and he falls in love with like a random regular girl, you know? Love that. I believe that's the premise. I'm not sure if that is even correct at all. Everyone's talking about it, and it seems pretty interesting, so I wanted to check it out. And then I have Redeeming 6 by Chloe Walsh. I don't know why I have the 4th one, if I'm being honest, because I have not read the 3rd. I've only read Binding and Keeping 13. So this is Joey and Aoife's story. I don't know if I'm saying her name correctly. If I'm not, I'm so sorry. I have not done any research on how to pronounce her name. I will when I start to read the book. And I read Binding and Keeping 13 last year, I want to say. Loved it so much. I sobbed, I cried. It was such a good book. They're thick, but man, I could have read 500 more pages of their story. I honestly could have. So this follows our FMC from the first book's older brother and his girlfriend, I believe. It's probably heavy. It's probably dark. Look up your trigger warnings, because she handles some hard stuff in the first book. So I'm sure he handles just as hard stuff in the second, or in like their books. I think I've truly just been putting it off for so long is because I love that 5-star feeling that I got when I read Binding and Keeping 13, and it's just one of those books where I think I'm really going to love it, and I want to just save it and savor it, because every time I read a book that I love, I'm like, I wish I would have waited a little bit longer to read it, and then I never do. So these are just my little like hideaway books that I just have not gotten to, because I don't want that feeling to go away yet, that I know I'm gonna get, and it's gonna put me in a very big reading hangover, and I'm a little nervous for it, but it's on there for when I want to. Okay, I have 2 left. So I have Where There's a Will by Jessie Walker. And this is an MM book, and I believe it's very dark, so search up your trigger warnings before reading it. That's truly all I know about it. And I saw this, I want to say on Instagram, I believe, and they said to go into it blind, so I have not looked it up. I just went and downloaded it on my Kindle and have just not picked it up yet. I did hear that it kind of messed up this girl who read it. Like, she's like, it's a dark book. So obviously I love the pain. I want that feeling you get when you start sobbing, you know? I just love when a book just rips your heart out sometimes, and I just have not been in the mood for that. I don't want to be sad just yet. So I just have not picked up those books. And then lastly is a book that I started again and I just have not gotten to. So I have Vibe by Liza James. So I got like 20% into this, and then again I just stopped one day, and it's not like I was like, I'm DNFing this book. It was just one that I'm just like, not my cup of tea right now, because it was interesting. Again, I don't think I was in the mood to be reading this. So this is a sapphic romance, and it handles like culty stuff, I believe. It sounded like she was in a cult when she was younger, and now she's out and she's like trying to live her life, not having all this trauma, I guess you would say. Search up your trigger warnings before reading this book if you need to, because there's some on-page stuff that happens like the first few chapters. So it follows one FMC who obviously was in this little like cult church thing, and she was told like all these things are wrong that you're doing, blah blah blah. And then we have our other FMC who is a sex worker, and they meet one night, and one FMC has a boyfriend at the time, and it's kind of dicey, and that's kind of where I stopped. I don't know where it's gonna go from there. Not a clue. Again, it wasn't a book that I was like, I hate this, I'm DNFing, but it just wasn't a book that I woke up the next morning and was like, I want to continue reading. You know, one of those things. Yeah, so those are all the books that I have on my Kindle right now, all on Kindle Unlimited, obviously. I do have like other books that I've like bought and stuff, but I just wanted to go through all my Kindle Unlimited books that I have. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment of your favorite Kindle Unlimited rec if you will, and I will see you in my next one. Love yous!